comes to Donald Trump's trade and immigration policies, we spoke to Dr. Philip Lowe, who's the chairman and chief executive officer of a neurotechnology company that is called Neurovigil. This is with regards to the tariff impact on the healthcare sector, especially neurotechnology. Let's listen in to what he's had to say as far as Donald Trump's immigration and tariff policies are concerned. Neurotechnology startups in India collaborate with US companies despite the current trade tensions and tariffs.
I think that the first impact is rather dramatic, in the sense that, you know, if you look at Silicon Valley, a number of great companies are headed by Indian CEOs, and also beyond Silicon Valley. You know, I mean, Indian-born CEOs. You have this with Microsoft. You know, you have this with Google and a number of other great companies. A lot of the engineers are Indian. You know, and so if this country is continuing towards a path of dictatorship and xenophobia, you know, then what will happen is pretty much the same thing as what happened in Russia and in Germany, which is the most talented people will just not come here. And this will impact not only neurotechnology, but it will impact all of technology. And it will impact AI very much so, by the way. So I think it is a self-inflicted wound for America. It's going to be a much bigger disaster for America than it is for any particular other country. I think, you know, the talent I've seen coming from India is so good that these are people who will find great opportunities elsewhere, including in Canada. And yes, a number of them will choose to stay in India, and this could be to India's benefit. But again, with fewer international partnerships, or at least partnerships with the United States, this is something that hurts not only the United States, but her allies as well.
All right. So how do you think the US-India trade relations will affect the pricing and accessibility of neurotechnological products such as brain-computer interfaces or neuroprosthetics in both countries?
Well, what you will see is this: the tariff in of itself. You know, these tariffs will increase prices. You know, the immigration policies, the lack of talent coming to the United States. I mean, the United States is already now losing more AI talent than it is recruiting, which is mind-boggling. It's astonishing that this is actually happening. That will lead to, you know, the pace of innovation being very much slowed down, because one of the things that happens in Silicon Valley is you put all these brilliant people together and you let them collide, you let them interact. You know, that's not going to happen if, you know, a brilliant scientist from the Tata Institute, for example, chooses not to come to the United States because she's afraid that her husband...
Last question, Dr. Philip. You have stated that Trump's immigration policies are a result of his personal vendetta as far as Donald Trump is concerned, and even some members of his administration. Why do you say so?
As I've mentioned, you know, Stephen Miller, I believe, has taken mind space, you know, that it was in Donald Trump, that it was left vacant by Elon Musk. It turns out, and I believe that your viewers may not know this, but it turns out that Mr. Miller ran for student announcer when he was in high school and lost to an immigrant. And so, you know, it may be that this entire trauma that is befalling, you know, countless families in the United States, you know, including families that have come to the United States legally, are just the brainchild of an unpopular kid who is using his proximity to the president in order to terrorize foreigners. It's quite surreal, and I believe it is in Mr. Trump's interest that he part with Mr. Miller sooner rather than later and course correct, because Elon Musk is after him, despite appearances. That is my analysis. And I do believe that he is financing a number of people in Congress who are pushing for the release of the Epstein files. So I believe it is in the president's political interest to part with Mr. Miller and to be a peacemaker at home, not just abroad.